everyone and welcome back to the Geek Region YouTube channel. So I did say in my Batman v Superman movie review video that I want to start my own series, and here it is. It's episode 1 of what I'm reading. The reason I got started with this and I thought about this is because I think reading is quite important and I love to read. I think we should all have it in the locker in terms of fundamental skills, and what better way to do that and incorporate that with comic books and talk about the comic book heroes that we love and grew up with. And to be honest, personally speaking, away from school, the way I caught up with reading wasn't just like books that the school would give you to read. I also read comics, so it would be either the Simpsons comics, or it would be old school Batman comics, or old school Superman comics, or even Spider-Man comics. I grew up heavily with Ultimate Spider-Man comic books, which I have a couple of volumes of, which I'm going to review in a couple of weeks' time. So I figured this would be for someone who hasn't got started with comics and would like to read comic books, and also people who have read these before to come and discuss it, what they think of the comic books, which I think's great. I welcome that. So I'm going to shut up now, and here is episode 1 of what I'm reading. So I thought I'd start off with possibly one of the greatest Batman graphic novels ever to be released, and it's Hush by Jeff Loeb and artwork by Jim Lee. Now, I've seen a lot of people, particularly vloggers and YouTubers, talk about this during the build-up to Batman v Superman, because there is a Batman v Superman sequence in here, although it's not the fight scene that we see in Batman v Superman. He's controlled by Poison Ivy and Hush, but it's an actual fight which we'll get to see, and you know, you get to see a cool take on how Batman beats Superman with the kryptonite ring, which is awesome. I loved this graphic novel. It was just so, I don't know, I can't think of a superlative to use to describe it. It was amazing. Rarely did I switch off on this comic. Like sometimes when I read graphic novels, there are pages where I tend to switch off and I get bored. But this graphic novel held me from start to finish, and I thought the twist towards the end was just something I wasn't expecting at all. The story and the artwork were possibly the biggest positives from this, because the artwork by Jim Lee is some of the best artwork I've seen by him, bar none. Just the way he's caught Batman in so many different scenarios, even with holes and tattered torn suits, and caught in the different dark DC-esque weather, and how he's caught Superman as well. It's so original, it's beautiful to see, and it makes that more pleasurable to read. And the story made sense and was fluent as well, and I thought that was great, because I know that some graphic novels and comics, the words and the storyboards tend to just not flow and connect as much as what we normally like to see. What I loved most about this, not just the story and artwork, but was the amount of villains that featured in this. You had a plethora of villains in this, and you had, I think, almost every DC villain in this, apart from a couple, and I thought it was incredible, particularly seeing Joker in this, because obviously without Batman and Joker, it doesn't really make a graphic novel these days unless a Joker features in it somewhere. But it was just great to read about it and see how Batman was pushed virtually to his very limit to kill someone, and it was the Joker, and it was just how you get to see him almost snap, which we never really get to see. We see him on the cusp, and it was just weird but amazing to see how he was almost on the verge of killing the Joker, because he was accused of killing Thomas Elliot, Dr. Thomas Elliot, his best friend, someone he grew up with and related to, because both their parents died. Spoiler alert, if you haven't read it yet, whoops. But that was really interesting to see how the Joker was pinned to kill Dr. Elliot, and how Batman was literally about to snap his neck. It looked like, anyways, and it was just, I was engrossed by this, and it was amazing. Then you had his romance with Catwoman. You can always see the chemistry and the tension between the two of them, and I loved this, like especially when they kissed, and then it hangs in Batman's mind, at the back of his mind, and he kind of like, I think he regrets it when you're reading on, and you're thinking, well, why are you regretting it? You and Selena go like chalk and cheese, So I don't understand what the problem is, but then you kind of see it unfold and just unravel towards the end, and particularly you see that why Batman doesn't trust anyone, and you can understand why. And it's a shame because he has like serious trust issues. Like there's a poor girl, she let him in, and he just kind of just like pushed her off. Then you had the big reveal. Batman revealed himself to be Bruce Wayne to Catwoman, which is a gigantic step because, you know, as we all know, Batman very, 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 very rarely reveals himself to someone unless he cares about them very much, like we see with Nightwing, like we see with Jason Todd, who also features as Robin, which I'm going to admit, I got a little bit excited when I started reading the storyline and I seen Jason Todd come back, but then he was a bit of a dick, so I thought, this isn't the real Jason Todd, and then it was revealed that it was Clayface. I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure I read Clayface. It was just weird to see Robin, after, you know, the death in the family, come back to life wearing the suit, kicking ass, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, he's going to have Nightwing and Robin. What the hell is going to go on? Like, oh, we're going to have like this ultimate trio, but then you see, you know, Clayface to reveal himself as Robin, as Jason Todd, and you kind of like, you're a bit bummed out, if I'm honest with you. But other than that, oh, I know I'm all over the place for this. It's just how I'm feeling. I've literally just put the comic book down, and I think it's one of my all-time favourites. I think a top 5, and I think that's going to be my number 1. Being like Walking Dead is features in there. I've got others that I'm not going to reveal just yet because I might do a top 5 comic book video. Yeah, that's an idea. The only negatives that I didn't like was very few times I got lost in between storylines, and I don't know about you, it's just how I felt. I found myself like, you know, like, I don't understand why this is happening when that's just happened. It only happened like for 1 or 2 pages, but other than that, it just flowed. And that's it. That's the comic book review. I'm really sorry if I'm all over the place with the review. I've literally just put it down, so everything's still fresh in my mind, and I just wanted to get it out there, so I've just kind of like blurted it out on the audio feed. I'm going to give this comic book a rating of 9 out of 10. Straight off the bat, no hesitation. It is one of the greatest comic books for Batman of all time. But tell me what you think of the comic book. Is Hush the greatest comic book / graphic novel, depending on how you want to call it, that's ever been written? Is this Jeff Loeb's and Jim Lee's best work? Put it in the comment section below. And then also, while you're at it, tell me what I should read next. I want to have a nice library for people to suggest, not only so I can learn, but also so I can talk about you guys, because I know there's a few of you out there who are very passionate about reading comic books and graphic novels. I'm open to all suggestions. Please put in the comment section below. Let me know what I should read and not read. I'm currently in the middle of Killing Joke, which, because of the animated film coming out soon, I'm rereading. So I'm trying to get up to scratch because it's been years since I've read this graphic novel. As I mentioned, I have read Ultimate Spider-Man, so that could be the next review I'm doing. But like I said, comment section below, let me know what you think of Hush, what I should read next. Please give this a thumbs up. Please subscribe and check out the different social channels that I've got in the description below. And I will catch you later. Geek out!